How's it going, everybody? My name is Armando. Thank you for coming back. I'm from A God Passion. Here we go. So yesterday's video was why I decided to travel at 25. Today is how I did it. It's gonna be a lot less cooler than I think maybe anybody could imagine it being. It's just a lot less flashy than I think anyone could imagine. When we started planning the trip, we knew we needed money, right? It takes money to do this kind of travel, to go places, to buy tickets, the plane, your expenses, everything. It all just takes money. And with the money I was making at my full-time job, it was not enough. It was covering bills and it allowed me to have some money to have some fun, but it wasn't enough to be able to save money in Seattle. We had come to the only conclusion, and that was we needed a second job. So that's really where it's just not pretty, you know. I picked up a second job at a spa place. I'm gonna see if I can find a clip. If I do, it's gonna be coming in right about now. I was working at a spa place. It was for floating. It's where you float inside really warm, salty water, so you're floating. And then you're inside this pod, so it's really dark. It's called floating. It's actually really cool. So that's where I worked, and it was in kind of downtown Seattle. It was about, I think it was like a 10-15 minute walk from where I lived. So I just walked there after work. I reached out to somebody and I asked her, because she had done a trip as well, and I found her blog. Her name's Emily Rose. I'm actually gonna link her as well. She has pretty cool stuff. She's actually in Korea, I believe. I might come back and correct that. But I, reached out to her. Really nice gal. She was kind of just giving me some tips, pointers on how to travel. It helps to just reach out if you feel like you have questions, and you really just reach out. I mean, people aren't as intimidating as you think. They're really happy to help and really happy to respond back to you if you have questions. But she even recommended, $10,000 is a good amount for about 3 months of travel. And we even kind of looked at other places and read articles on people and their travel, and we also came to the conclusion that $10,000 is a good amount. It's quite a bit of money. I know it sounds like I've never even seen, maybe some of you have never even seen that much money at once in your account. And I mean, I've never seen that. I mean, we did it obviously, but it was just crazy to see. But even though it sounds like a crazy amount, it's doable. If you go out and you get a second job, or if you're living at home, you don't have any expenses, just get 2 jobs anyways. Just freaking knock that day in, day out, man. Just knock it out. And it's good to see the savings just pile up by the thousands every month. You know what I'm saying? So once we got the job, once we decided how much we needed to save, then came the plan and the research that was a part of that plan. And I mean, there's a lot of information. I'm gonna bring up a little screen here, because if you just type in, backpacking or traveling and how to travel, I mean, there's hundreds of articles. It's so much. I'm gonna do my own video on what we decided to do and how we decided to do everything. And that might be the number 5 video, because it's quite a bit. It's a lot to cram into this section here. So keep an eye out for that if you're really interested in learning how to plan your travel. But we used this people called Savvy Backpacker. It was a couple, and they seemed like they knew what they were doing, knew what they were talking about. So we followed their plan, and we looked at the places, and then we started looking at, what a hostel costs, how it costs to get there, spending money, and some of these places were really freaking expensive. So then we kind of scratched that, took out a lot of the places that are really expensive, replaced some other places that we wanted to see or we have heard of through other people and other websites. And they had this itinerary that was 70 days. And I might even post a link. I'll post a link to that itinerary in the description, because they also have if you're only doing a trip for a few weeks or whatever. And we grabbed that itinerary and we turned it upside down, and we followed the path going backwards of what they recommended. And it worked out really well for us. I'll try creating my own link that shows our exact path as well. Really, then we use Hostelworld a lot. We use Google Flights to find planes to get you there. Ryanair will save you some time, but I tell you what, you get what you pay for on Ryanair. It's not bad, but I wouldn't say it's great. we didn't really do too much research on what to see inside cities, which I think maybe looking back, I would have liked to have done more of. After we did all that research and we started lining up the hostel situations and we started lining up how much, travel would cost us, not to mention all the equipment you have to buy, that will have to be another video of stuff that we bought and stuff that we really loved for our packing needs. This actually might be a really long series. I might have to split this up really well. That all equals about $10,000. And you kind of take away the cost of your equipment, you take away the cost of travel, you take away the cost of your amenities like staying somewhere, and then whatever money you have left over, you divide that out of the days that you are gonna be in the other country, you'll be traveling, and there you have your daily expenses. And I think when we started, we both had like $65 US dollars, I think, daily. It just isn't a lot, and in some places it was more than enough. In some places it was rough, but we did it, the research it took. And like I said, I'll be making another video because it's a lot of research, and I'll kind of show you tips or how to actually do the actual like visiting websites, going to web pages, finding hostels, all that good stuff. I would say the last part in the how I was able to do it is truly mindset, and realizing that whatever goal it is that might take that much money is kind of learning the sacrifice you're gonna have to give. For me, the sacrifice was a lot of my free time, a lot of time with my fiance, and some sleep, honestly. There was times where I would get home, I'd go to work from 6 a.m. to 2:30, I would work. I'd get home by about 3 o'clock. I would sometimes have to be at work by 3:30. There's times where I had to work till like anywhere from 10 p.m. till about 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m. I had to be up at 5 a.m. to be ready for work again. And that was like 4 times a week. I think I worked like one weekend. So I really only truly had one day fully off a week as well. And I did that for a year. And I made the money that was necessary. And I don't know if I'd recommend doing that. If you can find another way to save the money, please do. It's tiring, but that's the mindset and the sacrifice it takes. With every big goal, it's gonna take a sacrifice, and that's just the way that it is. And you gotta be willing to, either bite the bullet or take the leap of faith with it. I believe that's all I have for the how. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully that was somewhat educational. If you have any specific questions, please ask in the comments. If there's anything you specifically want to know, do let me know. I'm pretty much an open book about this. And it was everything I thought and more in every way possible, like stress, happiness, fun, just amazement, culture shock, everything. So I thank you for your time. You have a good night. Much love. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That'd be dope. I would greatly appreciate that. From the bottom of my heart. From the bottom of my heart, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for the support. Peace. Have a good night.